Here's my Honda VTX 1300S, a 2004 model. I wanted to talk today about the Craftsman Jack, and it would be very similar to other motorcycle jacks. The problem is, it's right there, so it looks like about 5 1/4 inches off the ground, from the floor to the top of the rubber pad. And what that basically gets in the way of is when you try to put this under your bike, it hits the other side of the frame. And you can see it right there. The other side of the frame is being hit, so you can't put this right under, which kind of poses a problem when you're by yourself out here. These bikes, mine's over, I think, about 630 pounds. And when you're on this side by yourself, trying to hold it upright, the bike upright with the handlebar, and then trying to get this slid in, what I would do is I used to just sit on the seat and then reach over and pull this underneath the bike, and then use a wooden stick to push down on the paddle here to start raising the bike up. And that was a big pain until I realized, the easiest thing to do is use these two rubber blocks I have. They're actually a jeweler's stamping pad. There's two of them right there stacked, and each one is 1 inch, so that gives you a 2-inch lift. And lo and behold, that's plenty enough for the jack to slide under. Now you don't have to worry about holding it and then flipping it over. And if you look at the lean of the bike, it's still leaning to one side, so it's not like you're riding it too much that it wants to fall over. And the good thing about this is once it's under, all you have to do is jack the bike up. Okay, so it rights itself, the bike comes right up, and if you go to move the bike around, the best thing I can suggest to do is when you go ahead and lower it and get it down to where the kickstand is close to the ground, then put these blocks under it so that you don't miss it, so that when you do bring the bike down, it goes where it's supposed to go. And it doesn't miss, and then it kind of gets stuck with the jack underneath it because it's canted to one side. So that's the best thing I can tell you guys, is to just put, again, I've got rubber pads. You can use a block of wood. Should be at least 2 inches for a VTX 1300, and a jack goes right under it that way. No fuss, no muss. And what the hell, since I have this up, I might as well go ahead and polish up a little chrome IC. That needs a little bit of a polish in there. Alright, so we talked about getting the jack under there, jacking it up and all that. Again, a moot point, but just always make sure you lower the jack down onto one of these actual stops down here. They're on both sides. You want a mechanical stop, not relying on the jack. I have another video where I went and serviced this, and I actually used a type of fluid that says with stop leak. Okay, so that's not a miracle thing. Basically, if you have a blown seal where it's torn, this isn't going to do anything. What this is basically for is if you have a jack that's been sitting with its original fluid, and the seals or O-rings are starting to harden. This has additives in it that bring a softness back to those seals, and then if they swell, the seals, then of course you're going to have no leaks at that point, and at the same time it conditions it. That's why I use this stuff to repair my bottle jack. Okay, it had all the old original, and this thing here, I was wrong, this isn't 15. I bought this in 2005, so 16, almost 17 years old. It's been a great jack. I really like it. Again, like anything, you have to service it. So again, I have another video on that. So aside from that, it's got this foot lever down here. And the newer ones, there's a screw type like you would have on your car, and you can really adjust the rate in which it lowers. This goofy thing here, trying to get this set with your foot, you can go too much or too little, and it causes the bike to bounce. So I actually put in this little adjustable stop. This is just a plastic cap that came off a brand new battery off of the negative side. It goes over the bolt just to protect it, and that way it limits this, and I'll show you how that works. Right, in the previous video, I tried to lower this. As soon as I had done the fluid and it was still hopping, I didn't like that. So again, the seals have been refurbished with the newer fluid, and at the same time I put that limiter down here. So now when I lower the bike, it does this action. Look at that. just like it was brand new. No more hopping, and it's nice and smooth all the way down, completely under control. So I'm going to need 2 hands to finish this just to make sure everything's in the right spot. Came around to this side, readjusted the blocks a little bit, kickstands down. No fuss, no worries. And this is now all the way down. I can go ahead and pull this right out. So basically that's what I would suggest. I guess if you get other bikes and you have the same problem, the biggest thing is to make sure that if you raise it, if the bike isn't straight up and down, where it could actually teeter it, either way, and then of course tip over and cost hundreds if not thousands of dollars in damage, that's what I would suggest, something like that. My VMAX is high enough off the ground where this slides right under, and I could even use the center stand on that if I want to. So basically, if you have a Craftsman, or probably a Harbor Freight Tools, or even one of the other companies, that's all you have to do basically, is just put the blocks underneath the kickstand and go ahead and raise it and lower it. One thing I wanted to point out too was on these jacks, not necessarily just Craftsman, but there's a couple guys on YouTube that are talking about, even though it says it's rated for 1,500 pounds, they talk about the fulcrum, energy point, load point. They do some math and all this stuff, and they come up and say that, oh, this is only good for about 650 pounds, so anything over that, you're stressing out the pump, you're wearing it out, you're going to break it, it's a piece of junk, you need to get something else. Well, come on guys, really? All these companies would be out of business if the stupid bottle was only rated for 650 and they said the jack was rated for 1,500. So what they're saying is, I don't even know what this is, I can't find any information. Over the years, all the stickers have come off. But this might be a 2.5 ton jack. I should say a bottle jack here, but the jack itself is rated for 1,500. And some guys say, well, this is only $100, piece of shit. You need to go ahead and get one of those expensive ones for $600 or $700. Really? It's metal. And it's got a bottle jack. And it's got good hardware. It's not rocket science. You don't have to pay somebody that advertises and pay for all that stuff and actually take out a freaking house mortgage to go ahead and buy a jack. You can actually get something like this. Like I said, I've had it since about 2005, and it's been really, really well as far as what it does. I just make sure I keep it clean, and I oil everything, and it's been a good jack. And sure, every now and then you have to service the fluid, like you do in one of these, or even one of those. Anyway, a little bit of information there. I hope it helps. I haven't bored you to death. I'll go ahead and get this on YouTube and see if I can help any of you guys out.